This is my first official visit to Uganda since my election as Registrar in February 2023. Now, as the principal administrative officer of the court, this visit is part of my routine missions to situation countries, especially where the court has a presence. Let me now address the case of Mr. Joseph Kony, who's still at large 19 years after his arrest was ordered. During this period, the ICC has continued seeking the cooperation of all relevant national authorities to arrest and surrender Mr. Kony to the court. Following the prosecution's request to the ICC judges, the pretrial chamber issued a decision on 4 March 2024 to hold a confirmation of charges hearing against Joseph Kony in the suspect's absence, should he not appear before that. Pretrial Chamber 2, in its previous composition, set the day for the hearing to commence on the 15th of October 2024. The Chamber concluded that after a targeted outreach campaign launched by the registry to notify the suspect of the charges against him, all reasonable steps to inform Mr. Kony of the charges against him as set out in the document containing charges have been taken. In this decision, the Chamber determined that Mr. Kony qualifies as a person who cannot be found within the interpretation of Article 61(2)(b) of the Rome Statute, and that under the prevailing circumstances, there is cause to hold a confirmation hearing against him in his absence. But let me elaborate a little bit on what a confirmation of charges procedure is and what it seeks to achieve. First and foremost, it is not a trial, and the case is still under pre-trial phase proceedings. The confirmation of charges hearing is to determine if sufficient proof exists to start a trial. It is a public preliminary hearing where the judges assess and decide whether or not to confirm all or any of the charges brought by the prosecutor against a suspect, in this case, Mr. Kony. The case can be submitted for trial before other ICC judges if the charges are confirmed. And let me just stress this point. If the case goes to trial, the trial cannot happen in the absence of the defendant, even if the charges are confirmed. Now, on the rights of Mr. Kony, like all other suspects before the ICC, he is presumed innocent until proven guilty, and he is entitled to legal representation when appearing before the court. In case the suspect does not appear before the court, the judges can appoint a lawyer to act on Mr. Kony's behalf. And now my office has commenced the process of identifying and assigning him a lawyer to represent his rights and interests during the scheduled confirmation of charges hearing. Dear members of the media, in closing, I would like to reaffirm the court's unwavering commitment to working with you at local, national and international levels in promoting our mandate, bringing the court closer to the victims and the international community, and the dissemination of accurate information about the court's proceedings to the victims' communities in Uganda as a whole. On the question concerning Joseph Kony's, I can categorically tell you that he is not in the custody of the ICC. We are working very hard in cooperation with the states parties of the court, in cooperation with the Ugandan government, to try to secure the arrest and surrender to the ICC of Joseph Kony. And no, we're not cooperating and have not cooperated with any other forces in relation to this operation.